following program is brought to you in living color.
Chins up, boobs out, it's showtime.
Time for music.
We interrupt our program to bring you a special broadcast.
And now for something completely different.
Scott Edward Phelps.
How did you rate the record?
It's great. It's sold. Shut up.
You're Daisy if you do.
Dave Simmons.
Your song touched me in a way I've never felt before.
Two guys who know tunes. Talking tunes.
Hey, listen to this.
Played it for her, you play it for me. Play it.
Hey guys, it's Miley, and this is the Audiophiles album drops.
God knows that I love my music.
And just for the record, I don't care.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
What the hell is going on?
What? What are you doing?
I don't know.
Is it supposed to be this soft?
Oh, I hope not.
You know, you try to bring a little culture into the outside, or from the outside into the inside environment, and all you get for it is flack and static. I'm Scott Edward Phelps.
I'm Dave Simmons, and I was enjoying that.
That's what I'm saying, but you're old, and you're not the demographic anymore, nor am I. And who says that legendary pop rock singer-songwriter Carole King and stage and movie musical icons Rodgers and Hammerstein ain't like peas and carrots?
Like peas and carrots.
I just said that. Not to worry, though. We're not going to give our regrets to Broadway or nothing like that this time around. This time around, some of our favorite things. Picks and faves, faves and picks. A half a dozen, give or take, of the songs that we like and we think that you'll like. And if not, well, that's why God invented the pause stop button on your iPod. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. I know that's right. That's right.
That Tourette's will do you in every single time. Technology. And some different tunes from different artists other than the ones we tend to go to a lot of time. I've been reviewing episodes, and we confess, and Dave hasn't seen these numbers yet, but apparently 147.6% of the time, I go to the Beatles and he goes to the Monkees, and that's pretty much all we talk about. So if you're looking for diversity in an episode, nah.
146%. That's
right.
Over 100%.
I know.
That's like 1,000%.
That's right. Well, it's close to 1,000%. It's give or take 800%. You get the idea, but I'm going to I won't speak for Dave because he's been busy doing many, many other things, but I've been busy, and here's the thing. I make this much of a guarantee. This episode is absolutely guaranteed to be 98.4% Beatles free. Now, there is a little 1.6% that's involved here. Splitting hairs, as it were. Well, it's a 4. Well, we talk about picks and faves. Here's a little sprinkle to get our picks and faves underway. And speaking of under, I'm reading off the prompter here. Before George Harrison died, we asked him, and who wrote this? Yeah, that was really a stupid sentence. Before George Harrison died, we asked him. No, after George Harrison was dead, we asked him. We didn't see it.
We have a Ouija board. We could do that.
You have a nice Ouija board, so I'm told. Anyway, we asked George Harrison what his favorite pick was on the seminal Beatles album, Abbey Road.
I like Ringo's song. It's just like a country and western tune, and it's happy tune. And I like what he's saying. Rest our head on the seabed. We could be warm beneath the storm. I've heard a few people saying that it's their favorite track on the album.
I'd like to be under the sea in an octopus's garden with you. In an octopus's garden with you.
You know, I got to tell you the truth. I have a lot of favorite songs on that album, but that one, and it's because, and George says it in so many words too, because it's Ringo.
Yeah.
Ringo always had fun and was fun. He wasn't involved in any of the ego bullshit and all the rest of that in his music because he wasn't an accomplished musician. He was a great and still is a great drummer. But
and I think George did most of the pre-production on that song. I don't know. If they even in the
anthology,
not the anthology, the
Peter Jackson,
the Peter Jackson thing.
Let It Be Again.
God, my mind is not working today.
Take a number, pal. Had a birthday since we talked last.
But you saw Ringo kind of presenting what he had to George, and George basically came up with a chord structure.
Well, you know what? If you look at the dynamic of that thing, too, and we're stretching past the 1.6% Beatles, but we don't care. It's what you get that the dynamic of that group really was. They all were, they talk about it in interviews through the years. They were all so close and so tight in the beginning and all their beginning years. It was like four brothers, but it really wasn't. It was four brothers, but it was two sets of brothers. You had John and Paul, and then you had George and Ringo, and they kind of looked out for each other because John and Paul were the loving, but nevertheless bullying kind of bullies of the four brother whole kind of thing. When Ringo came in with a song, you can imagine. And I'm sure John and Paul weren't crude about it or nasty about it, but there was a little bit of an eye roll. Yeah. Okay, good for you, Richie. We'll take a look at it.
Well, did you ever see the thing on Family Guy where they always do the cutaways? And,
sure.
And they had the four Beatles and Ringo's like, I've written a song, and Paul goes, oh, that's nice, and he put it on the refrigerator.
Right. But George said, let's give it a listen, and started working on it with him and helped him along. So anyway, I just thought, and that particular song brings back fond memories for me. The album came in '69. I was in my freshman year of college at the University of New Orleans, which was the New Orleans extension of LSU, LSUNO, and then they changed it, blah, blah, blah. But the student center inside the massive super center, media center of the day, had this library-like area with carpeting and cushioned sofas and all the rest. But inside that, they had a beautiful mahogany-framed room filled with soundproof glass, and you could go in and they played whatever was currently vogue. There was no furniture. It was just carpet. You went in. You weren't allowed to smoke or get tanked or anything, but you could just lay on the floor, on the carpeted floor. And I have wonderful memories of spending pretty much my entire freshman year, which accounts for a lot of my education and my success in other fields, listening to Abbey Road because that was the album at the time. And the sound of the carpet muting and Ringo singing Octopus's Garden, it was a magic time.
Well, it sounds like it.
I get all verklempt when I think about it. This time around, picks and faves, and first off, that would be drop number 1.
Album drop number 1.
Kicking it off after Ringo and his Octopus's Garden, we got a Dave tune, and we'll talk about that in just a minute. This song, let me just do a baby intro by telling you this. We always say every week we've got the song is the only song that answers the musical question. Well, we lie. We make it up every week because every week there's another song that answers a musical question. And this musical question is, do we think that this whole thematic idea of picks and faves and picks is going to work? Well, the answer to the question, obviously, is only time will tell.
You're leaving now. It's in your eyes. There's no disguising it. It really comes as no surprise to find that you planned it all along. I see it now. It comes so clean. Your insincerity, me all starry-eyed. You think that I would have known by now. Now, sure as the sun will cross the sky, this lie is over. Lost like the tears that used to tide me over. the sky, the lion's over. Gone, like the tears that used to tide me over. It's in your eyes. There's no disguising it. It really comes as no surprise to find that you planned it all along. I see it now. It comes so clear. Your insincerity. Me all starry-eyed. You think that I would have known by now. Now, sure as the sun will cross the sky, this lie is over. Lost, like the tears that used to tide me over.
It sounds visual, cats and kitties. It's 46 degrees outside. Feeling my radio days coming along. So,
Scott, there's several reasons why that's one of my favorite songs. That's 1982, which was the year I graduated. That album came out during my senior year of high school, and I probably played that album a million times. You know, Heat of the Moment, Only Time Will Tell, Time Again, just Soul Survivor, just great songs on that.
They were kind of hung up on the whole time thing, weren't
yes,
they?
yeah. Well, and they were the first super group of the 80s. You know, super groups were a big thing in the 60s and 70s, but I mean, you had Jeff Downs from the Buggles, Steve Howe from Yes, Carl Palmer from Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and John Wetton, the lead vocalist bass player from King Crimson.
And Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
But I got a quote from John Wetton. John Wetton said, it's a fairly self-explanatory, very personal song about the end of a relationship. A man learning that a woman he loved never loved him in return, and we can all relate to that.
No.
Only using him for her own gain. He walks out on her, refusing to live the lie and predicting that she will probably have a lonely future, but only time will tell. Look at all the lonely people. So that's it's
very evocative of a time.
Yes,
that was my time because I was in my 30s. So it's not like I was an old fogey back in the day. Most of my affections obviously are with the 60s and into the early 70s. But I did okay myself in the 80s, and I have a lot of fond neural connection to that sound and those guys and what they were putting together at the time.
Yeah, and you know, the writing was solid. That whole album, I mean, hooks, you know.
Well, you got to keep in mind there was some advance in the technology from the 60s, but it still wasn't anything like it is today. They still had to work at it. You had to have melody, you had to have lyrics, you had to have
and drum machines
talent.
were in their infancy, but that's obviously Carl Palmer live. But
that's right.
You know, so I mean, it's actually them playing. And the music was poppy, but it was still progressive. You know, the changes.
Poppy?
Yeah, Poppy. Hey, Poppy.
So, kids, let that be a lesson to you. Seriously, you contemporary kids who like to listen to what's happening and you think your music is really great. And all due respect, most of your music's shit. But don't
sugarcoat it.
But go back and, I'm sorry, was that out loud? Go back and listen to some of this stuff. Just, you know, get your parents or your grandparents even to turn you on to this kind of stuff. That group was, once again,
Asia.
That's ASIA rather. That's where places like China and Japan, they call it Asia.
Me so horny. No. Me love you long time.
You got chewing gum, Sailor Boy? We're having some fun now.
Hey y'all, it's Nicki Minaj, and this is the Audio Files album drops.
Get ready for a surprise!
Well, the surprise comes in this form. This is another one of my favorites, and it's not like a big I live or die by the song, but I'll explain how in a minute or a couple of minutes why. Introducing it is former President Bill Clinton, who was hanging out in the studio a while ago, and I said, "Yo, Bill, how about doing me a favor and get a little intro there?" And he said, "Well, Hillary and I used to love doing those things together."
Let me put my cigar out.
That's right. And then I realized it wasn't Hillary at all. It was Monica. Monica's in her almost 50s now, and she's looking real good. I don't mind telling. I said, "Bill, just give us the thing, okay, and introduce it." And here's what I threw in to go with it. We used to do a segment on the show. We haven't done it for a long time. We don't do a lot of segment stuff anymore because I ran out of energy, and Dave finally had enough and said, "Stop with the segment, Chief." We could put a whole nother song in here for all this fucking around you're doing with these segments. And I said, "Yeah, there you go." But this one was a fun one, and it certainly applies to what's about to happen here. So, President Bill Clinton, you just take it there, buddy.
Album drop number 2.
In a world filled with the famous, the near famous, the wannabe famous, the formerly but still sadly hopeful for a comeback famous, we know them all. From A for Aunt B,
I ain't lazy, Gomer.
to Z for Warren Zevon.
They're dead. They're all dead.
Yeah, we know that. There's not a celebrity who doesn't answer the phone when we call and say, "Who are you?
Who is this?
Who are those guys?"
We are the Name Droppers.
Damn right. Not going to drop the name on the front end of the song. Going to play the song for you. Not going to tell you any more about it than this. It is it's going to sound a little bit to you like groove-wise. Think of a slower Polk Salad Annie, Tony Joe White. Mm-hmm. It's a female singing the song. Think early Sheryl Crow meets Bobby Gentry, Ode to Billy Joe. Suffice to say, and it's a very clever song, and you'll understand why I'm dropping the name after you hear the song. But it's enjoyable and something you might want to look into later. And it's a very clever idea. It's called "Your Husband is Cheating on Us."
Come in, it'll only take a minute or two. By the way, I really like what you've done to this place. That doesn't really surprise me, hon. We kind of have the same taste. That's enough small talk. Something we need to discuss. Your husband's cheating on us. Then she said, "You look surprised." Well, I'm surprised. You never knew. I can't believe you didn't see or pick up on my rather strong perfume. Well, anyway, been replaced, and she's much younger than me and you. I know she's out there with him now, doing things that we used to do. But if we got together, don't you think we'd be dangerous? Your husband's cheating on us. Yeah. Where I started to cry. She said, "Oh, honey, you'll get over it." Never mind my fantasies of cyanide or taking out a hit. But anyway, it's better, don't you think, to make him wish that he was dead. Just promise me you'll take that creep for everything he's ever had instead. I've got a Polaroid camera and a room number at the Hotel Nautilus. Well, your husband's cheating on us. Yeah. Snakes are in the kitchen. Crows are on the line. Where the paint is twitching. Can't you see the sign, sign, sign? Can't you see the sign?
I love that groove. That is sultry was invented.
That's the production on that's phenomenal.
And that's about like 30 years old. It's been around for a long time. Her name.
Who produced that?
She and her husband did.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Her name is Matresa Berg. Now, you've probably not heard the name before until now. Mr. Berg. Matresa, and the name drop is because I know her. I haven't talked to her in a long, long, long time. But she was originally signed as a young new writer at Merit Music when I was there in the early 1980s. She was around, I think, 19 or 20 when she came on board. And she was kind of soft-spoken and, you know, kind of heady. Well, she came from a musical family. Her mom was a bluegrass artist by the name of Icy Berg, I-C-E-E. Country name, like Icy Berg, spelled like the, you know.
Icy Berg.
Like the slushy. Icy Berg. I think it was probably just comedic country sense of humor, but they're very nice people. But Matresa was quite the songwriter. She ended up going on and writing a number of hits, and she's done a couple of albums. Songs you might recognize of hers, she co-wrote the Dina Carter hit Strawberry Wine.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
And I wrote with Dina Carter right before she got her record deal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did, and the song didn't make the album. It was the same album that had Strawberry Wine on it.
Damn them.
So close.
So close.
But Matresa got her damn song on there, Strawberry Wine. She also wrote the Linda Ronstadt song, Walk On, if you remember. Mm-hmm. Walk on, you're down in day. Anyway, that's Matresa singing.
You sound remarkably just like Linda Ronstadt.
I do. Well, now. Trembling voice and all. She, Matresa, has been happily married for 30 years to the guy who co-produced that song with her when she did that album, a fellow by the name of Jeff Hanna. Member of Nitty Gritty Dirt Band.
That's where I recognize
Founding member of Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. So check her out. It's Matresa Berg, B-E-R-G. I think you'll like what she does.
Icy's daughter.
Icy's daughter.
Album drop number 3.
Well, it must be time for another Dave tune. You know, we're doing picks and faves, and we're doing album drops, and this is drop number 3. And you say, is there synchronicity? I think there might be.
Now that she's back in the atmosphere with drops of Jupiter in her head. She acts like summer and walks like rain. Reminds me that there's a time to change. Since the return of her stay on the moon, she listens like spring and she talks like June. But tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights all faded and that heaven is overrated? Tell me, did back to the Milky Way. But tell me, Venus, blow your mind. Was it everything you wanted to find? And then you missed me while you were looking for yourself out there. Can you imagine no love, fried cheese, fried chicken? Your best friend always sticking up for you. Even when I know you're wrong, can you imagine no first dance, freeze-dried romance, 5-hour phone conversation, the best soy latte that you ever had in me? But tell me, did the wind sweep you off your feet? Did you finally get the chance to dance along the light of day and head back toward the Milky Way? And tell me, did you sail across the sun? Did you make it to the Milky Way to see the lights are faded and that heaven is overrated? And tell me, did you fall for a shooting star, one without a permanent scar, and then you missed me while you were looking for yourself? And then you finally get the chance to dance along the light of day. And then you fall for a shooting star, fall for a shooting star. And now you're lonely, looking for yourself out there.
You know, the guy who wrote the original lyric, nah, 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 must make a fortune in royalties because it's been moved. You know, McCartney used it in Hey Jude. You got these guys using it in Drops of Jupiter. And what else is it? I don't guess Bill Withers counts because he I know. Ain't the same as nah, 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 nah.
Now, I tell you what, that won the best Grammy, the Grammy for Best Rock Song in 1991.
Yeah.
And I personally, I don't know if there's been a better song written. It's a complete song. It's structurally almost perfect. It's got the hooks.
Well, when you lay down good money, you expect a complete song.
Yeah, no, but you know what I'm saying? There's so many songs that become hits that are not well written. They're just pushed really hard by the record label.
Well, that, and it also applies to the testimonial. Whoever said it first, nobody ever went broke, underestimating the taste of the American people.
Well, that's true.
That's my weekly shot at the American people.
But I think that's one of those songs that is cream. It would rise to the top no matter what.
That's not cream. That's true. Oh, of course.
But yeah, I've always
it is, and we mentioned off mic that this is a band that's one of those bands that there's no middle ground. People either love, adore, and worship these guys, or it's like, what the fuck? Hey, listen to these guys; they're so lame.
And I think it's actually, as a band, it's the peak of their songwriting prowess. I think that's as good as it gets with them.
Somehow, I picture this trade paper, and it's got this big ad for the song in the band, and you know how they put the little quotes from the critics, and they got 3 stars.
The peak of their prowess.
They're at the peak of their prowess. Dave Simmons, the audiophile. I'm sure they'd appreciate the shit out of that.
Oh,
it's just an opinion, though. Everybody's entitled to it, no matter where it comes from or what it is.
That's a damn near perfect song.
There you go. That goes underneath the part where he said they hit the peak. Coming up, one of my picks is a favorite for a number of reasons, all of which, unbelievable though this may sound, are all about me. Dave's a once-in-a-lifetime kind of guy, and he's got the classic song to prove it. And coming up next up, Dave hates it when we play Guess Who. That's another segment of fun past days. But Dave doesn't know this is coming. But, Dave, lighten up, Francis, because of who it is we're going to say Guess Who to. And that who we're going to say Guess Who to would be all of you who is listening to this episode this time around, when Album Drops, Picks, and Faves continues.
It's our favorite show.
Like you roll. Just let me hear some of that rock and roll music.
Scott Edward Phelps.
America's favorite old fart.
His past is a mystery, but his work is already a legend.
Dave Simmons.
He's very fussy about his drums. They loom large in his legend.
Chicks dig me because I rarely wear underwear.
Two honest, intelligent men.
Two guys who know tunes. Talking tunes.
The Audiophiles album drops.
Let the second half begin.
Let the second half begin. And I believe we're up to drop 4. Here's the thing. We're going to do this little segment. It's called Guess Who. Basically, we play a song. You're not sure who it is. And we say, hey, guess who? Introduced this time around. Honored to have him. He's dead, but we're still honored to have him. Professor Hawking, if you please.
Album drop number 4. Guess who?
Who are you?
Who?
What the hell's that?
Who are those guys?
Who is this?
Well, that's for us to know. Well, me to know and for you to find out. Not going to give you any information about who it is, where it came. I will tell you this much. It's from the 1960s. It was a moderate hit. I think it broke like the top 50. It never screamed up the charts. It was not a mountain. You probably have never heard it before, nor have you ever heard the particular recording artist that we're dealing with, although I will give you this interesting clue. This person's persona or awareness or existence, as we were.
Or prowess.
At its peak, has already been kind of spotlighted earlier somewhere in the episode. Ooh, see what I did there? All right.
No, what'd you do?
You're at the peak of your prowess, too. Don't mind telling you. But you know what? It makes me happy.
There you go.
There you go. Speaking of happy, guess who?
Being left alone. Happiness is living out on your own. Happiness is having your feet on the ground, walking away, know you'll never be found, messing your mind, and most important of all, be free. Happiness is having a girl of my own, taking her out and always being alone with me. Money.
That's not me, and that's not my band from circa 1965. But if I had recordings of my band in 1965, you'd be frightened at how much that sounds like what we sounded like back in the day.
Well, you know what that reminds me of? And it's not them. That has a Butterfield blues band type feel to it.
Yeah, if they were accidentally morphed with Dino, Desi, and Billy, because it's very amateurish sounding, and rightly so.
But some of that Butterfield Blues Band, especially like the Live at Monterey stuff.
Sure.
Yeah, that was...
Sure, and sonically, it's a disaster. And again, 1965. And I say that because there's a lot of primitive sounds in the 60s, but remember, referring back to the Beatles, and to a lesser extent the Monkees, but the sonic sound of their records. This at the same time the Beatles were doing "We Can Work It Out" and "I Feel Fine" with the really amazing sound quality of those days. We had stuff like this. The Performer was not really known as a recording artist per se. He had a couple of singles and one album that was kind of a novelty thing, and it never really did anything. But it didn't matter. It was kind of a lark for him to do it. He did achieve a certain measure of success in another field, however. And when I mentioned earlier that we had spotlighted him. Well, here's his main claim to fame.
And Jerry Mathers as the Beaver.
He was the voice guy?
Beaver and the Trappers.
So it was Jerry Mathers?
Beaver and the Trappers.
Wow.
1965. Happiness Is the single, was the A-side. There was another one called Misery Is, and I think it's Misery
Was he
Is.
the lead singer?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. That was Jerry Mathers. That was the Beeb. So he's not on VH1, he's not on MTV, but he's on MeTV. So you can check him out if you want to make it happen. And that's a collector's item. You can't. That's like 3.5 minutes of your life you're never going to get back. Speaking of Dave's fave and peak and prowess, for heaven's sakes.
Hi, it's Michael, and it's time for Dave's fave.
That's what I'm talking about.
Why does it? That's like getting your rectum checked at the end there. You're
It's your trademark. It's pretty purdy. It's your mentor.
I know
you know.
Bernard,
it's our salute
but
to
when
Bernard.
you put it next to Michael Jackson, it just takes on a whole different thing.
Yeah. I hadn't thought about that. Well, you know what? Let's ponder that for a lifetime, and then we'll talk about it.
Allie woke up 8 a.m. graduation day. Got into a car, crashed along the way. And we arrived late to the wake. Stole the urn while they looked away. And drove to the beach cause I knew you'd want it that way. And you were standing on the hood of the car, singing out loud when the sun came up. And I know I wasn't right, but it felt so good. And your mother didn't mind, like I thought she would. And that R.E.M. song was playing in my mind. In 3.5 minutes, felt like a lifetime. Felt like a lifetime. And you move like water. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I could drown in you. And it felt so deep once. Yeah, yeah. Till you pulled me through. Oh, you would tell me no one is allowed to be so proud. They never reach out when they're giving up. And I know I wasn't right, but it felt so good. And your mother didn't mind, like I thought she would. And that R.E.M. song was playing in my mind. Yeah, 3.5 minutes felt like a lifetime. When I got home, heard the phone, your parents had arrived. You know your dad said his jaw, your mom just smiled inside. But they left soon and I went to my room, played that disc that you'd given me. You know I shut my eyes, I swear I could hear the say. We were standing on the hood of the car, singing out loud when the sun came up. And I know I wasn't right, but it felt so good. thought she would. And that Aryan song was playing in my mind. Yeah, 3.5 minutes. 3.5 minutes. Felt like a lifetime.
Awkward pause. I like those fade outs.
Yeah, such a great song.
Very effective.
Yeah. Better Than Ezra were one of those early 90s bands. I guess they even fell under the grunge. But they were really good songwriters. And
yeah, it was way more melodic than your
Yes.
average grunge kind of thing.
Yeah.
And it was percussive, but it was interesting melodically, too.
And this is a cool thing. In an interview on VH1, Kevin Griffin, who wrote the song, said the song was inspired by the death of Graham Parsons. And everybody who knows, music history knows. His friend stole his funeral casket from LAX and took it down to 29 Palms and set him on fire as the sun came up. So
Joshua Tree.
The Joshua Tree, yeah. So that's where he got the idea for, stealing his friends. But he basically said instead of burning it, he was listening to their favorite REM song as the sun came up.
Sure.
So it's good songwriting, good storytelling. That song charted. It wasn't a number one hit, but it's just a really good song. Great production.
Yeah, the mainstream stuff doesn't do that anymore. There's fringe stuff going on, and there's a lot of indie stuff going on because of the nature of what's available in terms of streaming and YouTube and all the different places, and that's good. So there's a lot of real good creativity out there, but the mainstream has kind of gone just same shit, different
The record label will pick an artist and push that artist, push the shit out of
Well,
the
that's
artist.
been going on since The Garden.
Yeah, but usually they would pick an artist that's good. It seems like they don't do that anymore.
Well, my argument was always in those kinds of discussions was always that in those days, say 50s, even 60s, 70s, 80s, on a bit to it, but in that peak period, that the suits were just as dumbass as they always were, but a lot of them were musical dumbasses as well, and they recognized art such as it was, and they recognized at least they weren't totally obtuse or oblivious to it. As nowadays, it's strictly those kind of guys. It's strictly a money making what their spreadsheets tell them.
Right. Well, I saw an interview with Frank Zappa, and he basically said
before he died.
No, after he died. He said in the late 60s and early 70s, the record companies were still run by these cigar smoking old guys. And they didn't know, and they admitted they didn't know. And he said they would say, "Oh, let's put it out and see." He said it's when the slick-backed hair, groovy guys that so-called know.
But they're even worse because they don't know, but they don't think they do, and they don't admit that they don't know. And it's kind of like presidents of the United States these days, kind of the whole same mentality.
Yeah. And that's the sad part that the record industry has become. Well, what's left of the record industry has become that.
Yeah, sad's not the word I'd use, but yeah, I got it. It starts with S, but it's not sad.
Scott Edward Phelps.
Newsflash, it isn't always about you.
The Audio Files.
And yet somehow inevitably that just seems to happen. It's time for, of all the faves and picks, it's time for my pick.
Time for SCP's pick. A great pick.
Speaking of know-it-all presidents in the United States, nevertheless. All right, I'm not playing Guess Who. I'm not playing Name Dropping. I'm not playing nothing except just to tell you. I'm not going to tell you who this is or where it came from, except to say that it's, well, I will tell you this. It's from around the early 80s, as memory serves from reading the label. What I will tell you is it's one of my more favorite bluegrass-style tunes. It has a musical cold start. Cold start song is one of those that has no intro, like We Can Work It Out. Try to see it. It's right there. Mm-hmm. This doesn't do that melodically with the lyric, but it does it with the music. I don't know why. It's just the way the thing was arranged. And again, it's from the 80s. Give it a listen, and then I'll explain to you why it's my pick. Or not. It's John Lennon's. Here's the thing. Shut up, John. I realized right before I pressed the button that I'm very close to breaking my all-time record for fuck-ups during episodes, and I was about one shy, and I needed one. So I self-sabotaged that one. I did it on purpose. As Pee Wee would say,
I meant to do that.
Okay. I'm going to play this bluegrass style tune for you. If I can find the damn number. Let's see if it's here. Yeah.
Hey, Emily, what's this crazy thing we're going through? Hey, Emily, am I losing ground or winning you? I've been whining and dining you night after night, but you still got me guessing if I'm doing it right. Give me a clue, hey, Emily. Maybe you love me, maybe you don't. You won't say, I can't tell. You keep it a secret, but I need to know if you're here to stay. So hey, Emily, what's this crazy thing we're going through? Hey, Emily, am I losing ground or winning you? I've been whining and dining you night after night, but you still got me guessing if I'm doing it right. Tell me a clue, hey, Emily. You're making me crazy, so make up your mind. Just say yes, just say no. We can't get it together if you're over there teasing me this way. Maybe you love me, maybe you don't. You won't say, I can't tell. You keep it a secret, but I need to know if you're here to stay. So hey, Emily, what's this crazy thing we're going through? Hey, Emily, am I losing ground or winning you?
I got to tell you, that's one cooking damn band, buddy.
They were tight. Very tight.
I will tell you what. And that is one of my favorite songs of all time for a lot of reasons, not the least of which is that I wrote the damn thing.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, that's one of the songs we did when I was writing songs in Billy's publishing company. And I think it was Merit Music, kind of an overlap there. But Cyril Rawson, my Canadian co-writer friend, and I wrote that song. And we originally wrote it because we liked, I don't remember which one of us came up with the opening riff and then the climbing chord progression. But Hey, Emmy Lou. And I've told the story many times before. Holly Slocum was a girl who worked with us for me at Tower Records, and Holly's mom is Emmylou Harris.
Oh, okay.
And we wrote the song, and I took it to Holly thinking, well, Emmylou's not going to record the song, but if she's enamored enough of it, she might show it around, and nothing ever came of it. But that band was just amazing. That was the guys that we worked with so often in our little cluster. It was our little wrecking crew.
Right, right.
And the lead singer was a fellow by the name of John Wesley Riles, whose stuff I've played before. He had some country hits back in the early 1980s. He had one.
Who was playing keys? That wasn't Johnny Neal on keys, was it?
Keys? No. And interesting that you should say that, because there's one thing about that song that has always just charmed the bejesus out of me. The keyboard player, and Tony I'm 74 now, and Tony was at least, he's got to be in his early 80s. God love him. I haven't talked to him for years. His name is Tony Migliore. Well-known session player in the Nashville area, but not so much for country music. If you met him with a name like Tony Migliore, you're going to expect an Italian-looking guy, and that's exactly what he is. Kind of an Al Martino-looking dude. Very accomplished composer, arranger, piano player. He was Bobby Goldsborough's piano player on the road for years in the band. He's done a number of other things and did a lot of stuff. And he played on our stuff because Cyril and Tony and I were all friends. But there's a piece of that song. I want to show you something here. Watch me use high tech here and get rid of the feedback on the microphone. That'd be fun. You're seeing behind the scenes. Okay. He does something Tony does that just knocked me out. And it's a simple, stupid little thing, but this is the kind of player that Tony was. He was the arranger of most of our demos when we put these things together. When he gets to a certain point in the payoff of the progression, he does what, I don't know whether it's technically called this or not, but it feels like on the keyboard, and he's playing a grand piano the whole time. He does what I call a gallop. Mm-hmm. And Dave picked up on it when we were listening just now, but listen to this again.
Maybe you love me, maybe you don't. You won't say I can't have. You keep
not yet.
Secret, but I need to know if you're here to stay. So hey,
that right there, that is so cool.
Yep.
And he just had that. He had that knack for being able to do those kinds of things and put those things into our songs, and it's just really smoking it.
Am I losing ground or winning you?
As long as I was there, I could have turned it off. But no. Anyway.
Yeah, the keyboard player stood out. I thought it might have been Johnny. That's the
no, it could have very easily been. But
yeah.
Tony Fulia, he was kind of the guy that he arranged a lot of our stuff. The song of mine called "But It's Blue" that's got the cello, the semi Eleanor Rigby cello in the background. He had the wild hair to bring it in, and he arranged the part. And he did
nice.
A very talented, totally orchestrating kind of guy. But copies of that song are available wherever you'd like to find them, and let me know what I can do. We can throw in some cookies. And speaking of cookies,
Gather round, kids.
The best for last.
It's just what you need.
It's a good quality item.
The ladies really dig these things, if you know what I mean, and I think you do.
Yes, sir. We're next month's garage sale for sure.
Dave Simmons.
Wherever toys are sold.
I'll be here after the meeting to hand out information packets and take your checks. Just make them out to cash. That's my maiden name.
And not to script your long list of endorsements, rightly so, but I think Mr. Roll deserves top notice this week.
He does. If you've followed our podcast and listened to our podcast, and you're listening now, over the last 2 weeks we did a two-part interview with Ralph Roll, who is the drummer for Nile Rodgers and Chic,
whose prowess has not yet peaked.
Yes. Yeah. Oh no, by no means has it peaked. He's an entrepreneur and he has several irons in the fire, but we talked about his cookie company. It's called the Soul Snacks, or Soul Snacks Cookie Company. He sent us a box.
The Soul Snacks was the band name that you offered up after you heard the name of the cookie company.
I'm reading the box right now.
And he latched onto that New York minute.
He sent us a box of oh my God, they're good. So everybody go online. What was his website? SoulSnacksCookies.com or
something like that. I think if you Google Soul Snacks Cookies, you're going to go in the right direction.
Yeah, definitely do yourselves a favor, give yourselves diabetes, order a box of those cookies. I just ate the oatmeal raisin. It's amazing.
There's more than one though, so you can get them if you'd like. Yes. Dave didn't eat the only oatmeal raisin.
No. They come the box. I would have to.
The cookies. I was a little pleasantly surprised and interesting. We got our sample. What happened was Ralph heard the interview later, of course, because we pre-record these things sometimes weeks in advance, and it just appeared in the last couple of weeks, and he was very complimentary. We did it in two parts. In the second part, but between the first part and the second part, after he had heard the first part, he emailed me and he said, "Boy, you guys really knocked it out. I had so much fun. Glad you guys says I love what you guys did. Please send me an address and I'll send you some cookies." So I thought, well, I was going to shoot right back and say, I don't want no damn cookies, but that's the different story. Which, if you listen to the interview, you understand where that's coming from. That's Dave's affair with Robbie Rodriguez. That has nothing to do with anything.
Yes.
So we're going to take free shit every time. But rather than go through the whole rigmarole, double, triple, I just said, well, Dave comes over here for the thing. So I sent him my address and I said, send. So I wasn't sure what was coming, and it came today, as a matter of fact. And he had that box inside the box, but opened up the packing box, and there was this box very nicely printed that says the Soul Snacks Cookie Company. And I thought, well, I wonder if they're on the inside of that, it's like Girl Scout cookies in the little rectangular boxes. But no, you open up the box, and it's, I don't know, is there like 24? I think.
Yeah, I think it's 2 dozen. Yeah,
2 dozen in there, and they're individually wrapped.
And they're big cookies. They're not little tiny cookies like Girl Scout cookies. They're big cookies.
They're not girly cookies, man. They're manly cookies. They're big.
I'm telling you, they kick ass. I'm going to be honest with you.
Well, I have this vision of a trade paper that's an advertisement for his cookies, and it says, they kick ass. Dave Simmons, the audiophile. No kidding. Well, read some of the flavors. He's got any interesting. As you might imagine, the talented man has interesting names for his cookies.
Peanut butter.
That's clever.
Yeah, lemon love sugar cookies.
I got you, lemon love.
Chunked up chocolate walnut.
Wasn't there a rap star back in the 1990s?
Yes, down home double chocolate chip.
Can't go wrong with down home double chocolate.
Grampy's chocolate peanut butter.
Not to be confused with Graham Parsons, who's still dead.
Coconut milk chocolate toffee. Wow. Aunt Yvette's sugar cookies.
Yeah, let's not make fun of Aunt Yvette.
No. I mean, that's just some
I'm saying
of them.
To me.
They're. I mean, the oatmeal raisin was banging.
Well, we heartily endorse the Soul Snacks cookie.
Yes, we heavily endorse them.
And the products therein lie in.
So please check out Ralph Roll's cookie company, Soul Snacks. Just search it on the web and
there you go.
Place your order and gain weight like we are doing right now.
Hey, kids, cookies for everybody.
While the applause is going on, Iowa, I just got a package from Iowa. Hello, Indonesia. Hello, Indonesia. Hello, Indonesia. Solo Beat drumsticks. Thank you, Iowa. I really appreciate it.
Robbie, you think I've lost my coordination, and I've admitted to you I'm having some issues with it, but at that moment you sprung Hello Indonesia on me, and instinctively I went to the 6 buttons available on the hotkeys, and this could very easily have gone this way.
Like peas and carrots.
But I managed to hit it correctly, so that makes up for the faux pas earlier.
Oh, wow. Robbie and Lynn, thank you for everything you do, Trinity Symbols.
And your cookies are amazing, too.
Yes. Well, I'm not making any fucking cookies for Robbie and Lynn.
No, it was damn cookies.
Yeah.
Fucking cookies. We're a family audience here. Nia Cox from Excess Energy, she just reached out to me yesterday. Dave Volpe from AKG Microphones. Sorry, I don't have any music for you, Dave.
And HHG Drums. Thank you, guys. We really, really appreciate everything that you do for me.
Yeah, I appreciate the fuck out of all the things you do for Dave. Thanks
Scott
very
appreciates
much.
everything that you do for me. And then Dean and Dale at Earl Teat Music, 2 locations, Delaware. It's Delmar, Delaware, and Dover, Delaware.
Yeah, I'd like to announce my new rap name, Chopped Liver. So when I say, what am I, chopped liver?
What do you got going on, Scott, that's not medical?
Nothing.
No.
Absolutely nothing. Had a birthday, turned 74 years old, and I'm like that car that runs smooth with no problems at all, right up to 100,000 miles an hour, or 100,000 miles of mileage. And I said, I'm now at 100,001, and everything that can possibly fall off is starting to fall off.
The wheels are falling off.
That's okay, though. I've had a good life, a productive life, and I'd like to thank Nia Cox especially for all the many things that she sent me through the years.
Maybe I can get you some energy drinks. Get your energy up a little bit.
Yeah, energy this. 45 RPM, my other podcast, the really good one where there's lots of music and not the two of us just mindlessly yammering for long periods of time. This week, I have no idea what's up. Just check it out. The place to go is Apple Podcasts. They still carry all. And same thing for our podcast here, for that matter. All the episodes we've ever done are available there. Fucking Google and YouTube, you can just suck the cookie. You know what I'm saying? You got to go. You got to look to the cookie.
We've clearly run out of ideas. So.
No, it's just that we had a couple of cookies and there's some serious sugar content going on there. So prepare to enjoy yourself elementarily.
Yes.
There you go. And then finally somebody will mercifully say, for the love of God, are these guys ever going to say goodbye?
And now, the moment you've all been waiting for.
Can you move it out of here?
Okay, wrap it up, kid.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
The audio files.
That's right. Anything else you want to wrap up or plug or talk about, and et cetera, et cetera?
No, we're pretty good. We're pretty good. We just had our 40th anniversary concert for my band.
That's right. Mike Hines and the Look.
So it was nice to see a lot of people out that, some people I hadn't seen in a long time. It was really good.
Well, after 40 years, if you have a whole bunch of people showing up, that shows you the longevity and the popularity and the diversity. Because I would think at least 20% of your original audience is probably dead by now.
Yeah. Or
I'm just saying, not wishing it on them or anything, but statistically speaking, if you had fans who were 20 or 30 at the time, they're, Or even 40 at the time. They're 80 or more now.
I love when the young girls come up to us and they're like, my mom loved you. And then I immediately look for resemblances. I'm like,
yeah,
you don't look like me.
I don't see that DNA anywhere. Shoo! Thank heaven. Anyway, congratulations to Mike Hines.
Yeah, thank you.
And the look as
and
well.
The look.
And the
yes,
look.
And the look.
An integral part of the organization known as Mike Hines and the look. And thanks again for all the cookies.
Oh, wow.
All right, taking us out, I got a surprise for Dave. I mentioned at the front end, hey, you know, Carole King sang My Favorite Things. It's from The Sound of Music, okay? Yeah, it's one of those mushy Rodgers and Hammerstein musicals, so get over it. It's very popular for a reason, and it's been recorded, and I checked it out on one of my favorite websites. It's called Secondhand Songs. The song has been, at this moment as we speak, covered almost 750 times.
Wow.
Over the last 60 years since it came along. So I thought, well, we kicked it off with Carole King doing it, and that was kind of bonkers. So I thought, well, I'm going to scroll through here and see if I can find some real oddball version of My Favorite Things. I figured maybe heavy metal. Maybe Ozzy Osbourne did a version of it somewhere along the way. Wouldn't that be fun? Or Gilbert Gottfried, you just never know. So I'm scrolling through the names.
My favorite things.
That's what I'm saying. Moon dropping kittens and mittens. So I'm scrolling through the list of names and the times and the chronology, and all of a sudden, bump, there's the name, and I went, I'll be damned. I had no idea that he had recorded a cover version
Mickey
of that song. You're being a wise guy. I was going to spring it on you as a surprise.
No, I knew he did that.
Okay, you see?
See?
This worries me because I've said for a long time that Dave wasn't just a fan, but he was actually stalking. Now, the fact that he knows that Mickey Dolenz somewhere along the way recorded a version. What album was it on there, wise guy? Ah. There you go.
Was it? Didn't he do a cover album of like all the songs that...
He actually did. The cover that I saw in Secondhand Songs represented for the album where they pulled this cut from was that's
all, folks.
You make me happy. Damn much cookie.
Never go full retard.
That's right. Or don't eat the whole cookie all in one sitting because it'll knock you down. Kid songs.
Oh, okay.
It was like Kid Rhino or something like that on Rhino Records, and it was a charming, goofy, clown-like picture of Mickey, which he's fond of doing, and that's God bless him. But yes, in fact, it is Mickey Dolenz. Now that you've fucked up the surprise,
well, I'm sorry.
It's okay. I'm not going to play it now. I'm just going to say we're done and just turn it off. That's all there is to it. No, not really. Enjoy this. Mickey Dolenz sings Rodgers and Hammerstein. I'm Scott Edward Phil.
I'm Dave Simmons.
And we are the Audiophiles. And hey, he's a monkey.
Raindrops on roses and whiskers on kittens, bright copper kettles and warm woolen mittens, brown paper packages tied up with strings. These are a few of my favorite things.
The Audiophiles is produced in the United States of America. Questions, comments, and witty banter welcome. AudiophilesBroadcast@gmail.com.
When the dog bites, when the bee stings, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember my favorite things, and then I don't feel so bad.
What the hell is that?
That's the loveliest thing I've ever heard.
The Audiophiles.